They have become our colleagues, they have become our friends. We must also extend these greetings to them. Honorable members, I said that last week that we are going to have a meeting of the committee tomorrow on Wednesday. We will confirm the time with you. The chairperson, we have two chairpersons here. The chairperson of the Portfolio Committee for Police and the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee for Justice. Their committees are meeting tomorrow, starting from 9 o'clock. And when I checked with them, their meetings may end around 6 o'clock in the evening. So we will continue to engage with the two chairpersons and other committee members to look for an appropriate time which can accommodate all of us. So once that is decided, we will let members know when our meeting will happen tomorrow. But the likelihood now is that it may start in the evening. So, but we will confirm that time with you, honorable members. Last week on Friday, there were some changes in the order of proceedings because there were honorable members who have requested to be released earlier during the proceedings. And so I want you to know that today we are reverting to the normal way of our proceedings. We will start with the African National Congress and then go to the MKP as the official opposition, then take the Democratic Alliance, followed by the EFF, the IFP, the PA, Freedom Front Plus, and Action SA. So I want to take the note. I want to note the speakers now. African National Congress, who are your first two speakers?
Thank you very much. Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honorable members, Evidence Council and General Sibiya. From the ANC, the first round of speakers would be Honorable Sokanyile and Honorable Mola. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. MKP, who are your first two speakers?
Good morning, Chair, and good morning to my colleagues and everyone here. I'll be the first speaker today.
Okay. And then maybe just to Honorable Skosana.
Yes.
Because it is human just to tell us how is Honorable Nomvalo today, how is he feeling?
Thank you, Chair. He'll join us now. And obviously, there's a clinic here in Parliament. He says that he's walking back here.
Okay.
He will join us in Honorable Chongwe.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The Democratic Alliance, Honorable Breitenbach, may you please confirm your first two speakers?
Morning, Chair. Yes, it will be myself and Honorable Cameron.
No. One of your speakers must be on an alternate.
Okay, well then it will be myself and Honorable Klopper.
Okay. So Honorable Cameron will take the last round. Yes. And then from the IFP, from the EFF, I guess it's yourself, Honorable Matthijs. Welcome and good morning.
Good morning, Chair. You didn't say EFF like you meant economic freedom in your lifetime. I'm joking, Chair. I'm going to take the first round. Obviously, I'll be doing, but we'll do two rounds. So we'll do the 20 minutes and then we'll do a second round for 10. Can we agree to that, please?
Honorable Matthijs, you are an alternate member in this committee.
But I'm full today.
Today you are a full member, and when you are a full member,
because I'm an alternate,
when you are a full member, you forfeit the status of being an alternate.
Yeah, but But I thought you'd just be nice.
So
because,
let me allocate. You know, I'm a benevolent chairperson. Let me
yes,
allocate
that's what
you
I'm
the
counting
time,
on, Chair.
and then we will come to that discretion in the event. I'm satisfied that you deserve it.
Okay. But Chair, can we agree though, right? We're getting 30 minutes regardless, right? So I'm saying
Yeah.
we can go 20 and then we can use the other 10 to wrap up.
You
If push comes to shove.
have 30 minutes. If you use 20 or 25 and say, I would like to use the 5 minutes later, it's still okay.
Okay. But I can see that you are going to give me the 10 minutes for the alternate. I feel it. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, look, that is a very strong feeling. I cannot take that feeling away from you. Honorable Sols, Honorable Mwango, the IFP is going to be you. Honorable Sols, the PA is going to be you. And the Freedom Fund Plus will be you, Honorable Vessels. And the Action SA will be you, Honorable James. So, Honorable Skosana, after you have spoken, we will determine if we no, you said the MKP is going to be you, and I see Honorable Shongwe has moved in. Is he forfeiting his minutes as an alternate or what? Or is going to be you and him? Or,
No.
or him and you?
Yeah, it's going to be me, and then followed by that 20
Alternate.
that 20 minutes for Honorable Shongwe, and then in the second round.
Not 20 minutes.
Oh, okay,
Not
yes,
20 minutes.
and then the last round would be Honorable Nomvalo.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, honorable members, it will then be Honorable Sokhanyile, Honorable Ngola, Honorable Skosana, and Honorable Shongwe for the first round. Surely, after Honorable Shongwe, we should take a comfort break. So, Honorable Shongwe, the keys to our break, I'm giving you the keys, and help us to have that comfort. Honorable Sokhanyile, your time starts now.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chairperson, let me greet you, the honorable members. Let me greet you, General Sibiya, together with the officials and also the people of South Africa who are listening to this ad hoc committee today. General Sibiya, I will zoom to previous work employment that you did specifically with the city of Johannesburg. On paragraph 21, you have said that in your statement on the 8th of November 2016, you were appointed by the city of Johannesburg to head up its group forensic investigation services. So you were responsible for that unit. Was the unit an existing unit in the SAPS, or it was a new unit that you established with the city of Johannesburg when you were employed in 2016?
Thank you, Chair. After I lost my job from the city of Joburg, I was at home doing my small projects. I saw an advert. It was advertised that they're looking for to establish a city's forensic department that is meant to fight maladministration, theft of city assets, fraud and corruption in the city, the hijacked properties and that. So I also showed interest and I applied, like many others applied. I applied and then I was called for interviews and I got the job. And at that time, there was no group forensics in the city of Joburg, but there was an audit section within group risk and assurance. They call it JIRAS within the city. So they were also conducting investigations on the other hand, but under like audit, they were not doing like forensic investigations per se. However, they were contracted to many service providers that are in the city's database, such as your KPMG, all the different forensic investigative and the law firms that conducted the investigations on behalf of the city. So the then mayor felt that, but they want to have a forensic department that conduct investigation that must fight corruption, fraud and corruption in the city, theft in the city's asset and maladministration. Remember in the city of Joburg, at that point in time when I was just starting, there were so many, I just don't have the figures now, but there were so many buildings, properties that are hijacked, where the owners were complaining left, right, and center that their properties have been hijacked and they were no longer even having access into. So I had to start a department that will actually focus specifically on fighting crime that is being committed in the city and against the city.
Okay. In fact, you have said that you saw the advert through in the newspaper.
Yeah, it was advertised. Yes, it was advertised.
You applied,
Yes,
like anybody.
Yes.
Went to interviews.
Yes.
Okay. But you left the city of Joburg being accused of fraud and corruption. And this unit that you set up, it was there to combat fraud and corruption. But you left the city of Johannesburg under the dark cloud, being accused of fraud and corruption. Am I correct?
You are not correct. I resigned from the city of Joburg.
There was no case against you of corruption and fraud or anything that comes nearer to you that the city of Joburg said you have done. For instance, that involves an amount of 3.5 million of unlawful benefit.
No. In the city of Joburg, it's a political space. It's all the political parties fighting each other in council. If this party is fighting that party of the former mayor Herman Mashaba, others are fighting that party, others are fighting group forensics, because there were those that were believing that group forensics had been established by the former mayor Herman Mashaba so that it can be used against them. So they would open cases, many would open cases that are not really cases that make sense, because if there is any fraud and corruption, and it was reported to the police and it has got evidence, I would have been arrested by now. It would have been, it's how many years I've been back into the police? Where's that case now? So it was neither here nor there. It's just on a daily basis you would face, there are those who will tell you that I was illegally appointed, but I was appointed, approved by council. Matters were investigated by the public protector. cleared. There will those who tell you that I procured spying equipment, but and then even go to an extent of writing to the public protector. Public protector cleared. They wrote to the IGI. The IGI said, but it must be investigated by the SSA. The SSA comes and say, no. We saw these things. There's no spying equipment here, and even these things that were procured here cannot be even repurposed for anything. It's a report that comes from SSA. Now, what I'm saying is that this is a political environment, and if someone goes and open a case against you, and there's a case, act on it, and it never happened.
Okay. So there was no case that was opened for that. Even the equipment, because I was going to come for that equipment that we're talking about, an irregular expenditure that was incurred by the city of Johannesburg because of the equipment, procurement of the intelligence gathering equipment.
No.
There's nothing like that during your era.
Let me respond. There is nothing like that. Honorable members, when you say you are a world-class city, and then I say the city of Joburg is the mega city in Africa, and we've got a forensic department that is not able and capable, how do we make the city to be able and capable? How do we make the city to be able to carry itself in terms of the investigations? Now, I said, you know what, I worked for the Scorpions. They had a unit called KICO, Crime Information Collection Unit. In the Hawks, they have PCMC, Priority Crime Management Center, Information Management Center. Now, I needed an instrument that when I walk into the war room, I can see what is happening in the city at once. And that being the case, what you do is that we need technology. We need to invest in technology. Even the police now, they are saying we need to invest in technology. You need a situation where the city's got, I think, 13 departments and 23 entities or vice versa, but that is the numbers. I must know that the crimes that are being committed at revenue services, at water affairs, water department, at J Water, or at Zoo, or at City Power. In those respective environments, I must know the type of crimes that are being committed there, but I must also check on the modus operandi of this crime that is committed here. Is similar to this one, similar to this one, and who are the role players that are coming in. So if you don't have technology that assists you to be able to get that type of information all at once, I must know that how many cities' properties, how many buildings in the city are hijacked, so that we put the red dot in those that are hijacked, so that when I look at the wall must tell me that here is a cluster of hijacked properties. That building and that property and that property, they are hijacked. This one's the police have acted, and this one what you label them red, green, and yellow. And the yellow will have its own status. Green, it has been arranged, it's in court, and this one is foreigners mainly. And so that what you need to do is you plan your operations according to what the system tells you, that we've got so many buildings that are hijacked, and then you must be able to know that who's behind the hijacking. Is it the same group of people, or you have different numbers of people? So this is just technology. So now, what is worse that we need to understand, honorable members? In the city, I will never wake up and sign a check and go and procure something. You make an application that must go right up through the budget steering committee, and right up to the council where maybe something gets approved. But above all, the person who complains that I procured spying equipment, it is his wife who procured those spying equipment, working for the city of Joburg. So This thing of making allegations for the sake of making allegations because you want to taint a person, they don't really work. That is why nothing happened to date, and nothing will happen ever.
Okay. In your statement, and even
Honorable Sokanyile, General, who is the person accusing you of buying spying equipment?
Initially, I do know that the former city manager, Fred Brank, was the one who was accusing me, and then supported by a gentleman called Mesuli Mlandu. And this Mesuli Mlandu is a guy who was fired from Eastern Cape and then was employed in Ekurhuleni, was fired from Ekurhuleni, and then he started accusing and running after the former minister of Ekurhuleni, Mondli Gungubelo. You can check the articles. So himself, there were investigations running against him. How he got to be on the other side and started attacking me and challenging me and fighting me is because there came an instruction that say all senior managers of the city needs to be vetted. When we send a team down there and say, we are told this man was fired in the city of, in Eastern Cape. He started saying, no, I'm conducting clandestine investigations against him. They are not clandestine investigations. Everybody must just submit the Z04, 204 papers so that everybody can be vetted. But he didn't want to be vetted at all. And above all, there were investigations that were registered where he assisted in the employment of a lady called Anela Kwababa, who had the qualifications of being a registered nurse somewhere there, because she created the impression that she's got HR-related qualifications when she did not have HR qualifications. Even now, I think she doesn't have. But this is a person who's occupying the most high position in terms of HR-related. So there are other people who think because of how forceful they are, how powerful they are, how strong they are in terms of character, they can force their way through and get what they want. And you will realize that even in the city.
I think I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
So did these accusations happen when you were still their colleague?
Yes.
You had not left the city?
No, they happened whilst I was in the city and they were investigated and I was cleared. They even attempted to stop their powers for group forensics to investigate. I went to court, the court ruled in my favor. All these things were investigated. I'm very much concerned when they are trying to get this again through the back door and have this thing resuscitated.
So are you saying Honorable Sokanyile is a backdoor?
No, this is a dead thing that needs to remain dead. They shouldn't be bringing this. You know, when Ntantam Kwanazi was talking about state capture, he was talking in a sense, not state capture, when he was talking about...
No, it's fine. I don't want you to debate the questions. I just wanted to clarify. And remember, this clarity emanates from the statements that you made yourself, that I did not buy spy equipment, but the person who accuses me of buying spy equipment, it was his wife who bought those equipments.
Yeah, the equipment that were procured. His wife was part of the steering committee, and her signature is also there.
Thank you.
no, it worries me.
The Honorable Sokanyile.
Yeah, it worries me.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want
you
to
assisted me because I was going to ask about Mlando. I'm from Eastern Cape in Tata.
He was fired in the Eastern Cape. Even in
No,
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No, look.
No, you don't.
General, don't be agitated.
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to put things behind or putting things through the back door. I'm just looking because when we're in the city of Johannesburg trying to combat fraud and corruption, there are these allegations. Now, you went back to SAPS. There are allegations, for instance, Brown Muhotsi, you said he came to your office and to inquire about supply chain. Why would he go to your office, Brown Muhotsi, on a supply chain related issue, not going to manage a supply chain, for instance, a senior person in the supply chain or the national commissioner?
May I ask the honorable member to rephrase her question because she's put facts upside down.
Oh, okay. Mukhodzi, Matlala, they're one and the same people. I'm saying that you said yesterday, Matlala went to your office to ask about a supply chain related issue. Then I'm asking why not go to a supply chain person?
Just hold it there, Honorable Sokanye. Honorable Nombalo.
Chair, I thought you were going to call the witness into order. The manner he has addressed the member is unwarranted and undesirable. To say a member has put herself upside down, what is that? You've got a responsibility to protect members and witnesses who must engage each other with respect here.
Yeah, he said the question. I think he might have wanted to say the facts have been mixed.
Yeah.
And I think the member understood it because instead of mentioning the name of Matala or Mr. Matala, she mentioned Mr. Mkhodzi, but the witness understood the context to that the member wanted to ask about Mr. Matala. And that is why, look, we can pardon him for the language use. I don't think it was intentional. He would have wanted to assist the member to say, but it's like your facts are mixed. If we can have the facts reorganized. And for that, I did not fault him. You can proceed, Honorable Sokanye.
Fine.
May I apologize if this is how it came out, because I didn't want to use the word the honorable member confused.
Yeah.
This the thing. It would have been more. It would sound like I'm saying the honorable member is confused. So I didn't have the right word, but I apologize. I'm ready for the question, honorable.
Accepted. You can answer.
What was the question?
I was saying that you had a meeting with Mr. Matlala about a supply chain related issue who came to complain. Then I'm asking, you didn't refer Mr. Matlala to a person responsible or a senior person in the supply chain department or the national commissioner? Why didn't you do so?
Honorable Chair and members, when you are or you have been awarded a tender by the South African Police Service, which have gone past supply chain. Now, the next level to complain if there is an issue was the logical thing to go to the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service. This is what he did. He went to the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service, which in that case, I was acting in that capacity.
Then the meeting that you had with Brown Mukhodzi discussing some of the issues. You said Brown Mokgotsi, you knew him from Northwest. He's an activist. Then you said yourself, you don't belong to any political party. But you are meeting this, you met this activist and you knew Brown Mokgotsi because he's an activist. Am I correct?
Yes, I said that. Not because he's an activist. I know him as an activist in Northwest.
Then most of the meetings that you held, either Brown Mokgotsi or Kat Matlala, were work-related meetings, surely.
In relation to Brown, I would say work-related. But if a person says, I'm coming, are you in Camps Bay, I'll come and greet you, because that's the only time I met him. And the second time when he said, I'm in Gauteng, I'm coming to consult. Are you around? And I said, yes, I'm at my lawyer's as well. Okay, I'll see you when I break, and we just greet.
The work-related ones now, the outcomes of the work-related meetings, have you ever reported them to your senior, who happens to the National Commissioner? Have you ever reported the outcomes of those meetings and reported that you met so and so because of this and that?
Firstly, I indicated yesterday that the moment I got these calls from Brown Mokgotsi, I said to the National Commissioner, there's a strange call that I found from a person who called himself Brown. But he was telling me more about me being careful that crime intelligence is following me and they are working on me and all those things. And then he said, no, continue meeting him, and where possible, you can even record him. But it didn't go to a point where I recorded him.
You know, I didn't hear clearly. Can you repeat?
Chair, General Sibiya is not audible. We can't hear him. If you can just speak closer to the mic.
Thank you.
Can you repeat your answer? I didn't hear clearly.
I don't know if I still remember the trail of thought, but what I heard was, did you inform your National Commissioner? And I said, it was not a meeting per se, but I did inform the National Commissioner the very first time around. I received a call from Brown, that I received a strange call from a person who called himself Brown, but he was telling me that I must be careful. I'm being followed, I'm being listened to, which was the case. And said, these people are working against you because they want to push you out. That's what he said to me initially. And I did tell the National Commission, I said, no, keep on listening to him. And it wasn't a subject to really take any further.
And then thereafter, you knew Brown Mokgotsi because you are saying that you told the National Commissioner that you got a call from a person you didn't know.
Yes. And as he phones, I took the calls.
When you said yesterday, your hatred or the hatred, the presumed hatred between yourselves and General Mkhwanasi, you saw it, it was there. Is that the reason why you had to communicate with the junior officials in KZN instead of a provincial commissioner?
Those are two different things, Honorable Member. The hatred is something that has been displayed over time until now, and why I communicated with Deputy Provincial Commissioner. I'm the Deputy National Commissioner of Crime Detection. I am allowed to speak to a Deputy Provincial Commissioner of Crime Detection. That's the first part. But the second part is that Because when I speak to General Mkhwanazi, when I call him, many a times I call him when the relationship was all fine. You will call him, you won't find him because mostly he's engaged in meeting, whether it's engaged in a meeting with executive, business forum, or taxi people, but he's mostly involved in meetings. Now, he's the kind of a person who, when he's chairing a meeting, he will never take a phone and answer to your phone, but he will definitely come back to you much later. Now, I'm sitting here in making sure that since the minister said, may I see the team tomorrow so that I can brief them, I can hear what happened and how they got there. The minister didn't want to interfere, but remember that he is the minister of police. He he conduct a lot of interviews. He want to be able to account or to speak about it. So he said, can you get me the team to come and brief me so that I get to hear how we got here? And me trying to speak to General Mkobozi to arrange and also to please inform the PC on my behalf. Like it happens in many other provinces, I never thought General Mkhwanazi will actually take it too hard like he did. Similar situations have happened in Mpumalanga. Similar situations happened in Mpumalanga where the National Commissioner wanted to meet the team that was involved in a particular, I think it was a case where we found a arms cache or the one of Piet Retief where councillors were killed and a good job was done, but the National Commissioner wanted them to come and brief him. Now, as a result, I communicated to the brigadier, and then the PC called me and said, how? Now you are calling my people and me you are leaving behind. And these are my people. I say, General, please, I apologize. I should have started by you. And she said, no, I understand. Please, General, come with them. And she came, we interacted with them, but I apologized. And it was really not war like it is still today, just for the fact that I didn't speak to you directly, I spoke to someone who's your deputy. So it differs from character to character, from person to person. But it happens on a daily basis with all the provinces.
Okay. No, thank you very much. Thank you, General.
Thank you very much.
Before, General, you confirm the display of hatred towards you.
That's correct, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Honorable Ngola.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chair, let me start with a disclaimer that I'm also from the Eastern Cape, and I am here not because I was fired there.
Yeah, but before, Honorable Sokanyile said she wanted to ask about that person from the Western Cape, who the general has said that he or she was fired.
Yeah, Chair, that's why I'm saying I'm from the Eastern Cape.
No, I'm just checking with her. Are you no longer asking that question, or because you had promised the general that you were going to ask him?
No. I'm no longer going to ask because he has reflected how they hated him also.
Okay. Yeah, my apologies, Honorable Ngola.
Thanks, Chair. Thanks, Chair. Chair, General, good morning. We are going to sectorize my questions in two. The first emanate from the answers you have given yesterday to the evidence letter. And the second emanate from the statement you deposed to this committee. One, I want you to confirm to the committee that the answers you gave yesterday are to the best of your information and they are not a bad denial. Do you confirm?
Make me understand, Chair, because when the honorable member says the answers I gave versus the affidavit I deposed, I am not a bad denier. Can the honorable member take me to a specific point?
I'm saying, leave the statement for now. We'll come to the statement. I'm saying you have been asked the whole day by the evidence leader yesterday. You have provided answers.
Yes.
And in your statement, you said you confirm that the information you are to give is to the best of your knowledge.
That's correct.
So I'm asking that you confirm on record that all the answers that you would have given to the ad hoc committee yesterday,
yes,
are the best of the knowledge that you have and not a bad denial.
That is correct.
Thank you. Your boss, General Masemola, deposed a statement in this committee. And one of the provisions in the statement said there was a meeting between him, General Khumalo, and the Minister of Police that declared you a rogue police officer. Are you a rogue police officer?
I've never been one in my 37 years old in the service.
So you deny the allegations?
I deny that, and they must prove that.
Okay. So you receive a call from a gentleman by the name of Brown Mokhotz, who comes and meets with you in a hotel in Camps Bay. You dine together. He divulges an intelligence information to you, an alleged plot to oust you or something. But didn't it concern you as a Deputy National Commissioner of the South African Police Service that a civilian comes to you as a boss of an institution and gives you an information about your intelligence services? Did it not concern you?
What concerns me is the fact that he was telling me something about I know. And in that regard, I work with information. I've got people who are my informers, I have people who are whistleblowers. I deal with information. So even if I am concerned, the only thing I can do is to either speak to the National Commissioner, or where the National Commissioner is involved, I'll speak to the Deputy Ministers.
No. We understand clearly that crime intelligence has got what they call community intelligence, where they use the information to tackle crime. They use information they get from community members, which is fair. This is a different discourse, General. This person comes to you as a Deputy National Commissioner, brings an information about your intelligence services, not about what is happening in the community that will help you execute the mandate that you have. So this is different. I agree. It is important that you work with communities, get information, but this is different. A civilian comes to you, gives you information about your intelligence services. Did it not concern you that how did a civilian get hold of this kind of information as a person given a responsibility to manage and control the police service?
No, it didn't concern me.
Why?
Because when someone comes to you with information that helps your cause, you do give attention to such information. I cannot be worried about the fact that this person is giving me information that is actually saying to me, look over your back. I can't be worried about such.
So intelligence formation of the country that is lingering among community members doesn't worry you as a Deputy National Commissioner. Is that what you are saying?
That is the most concern that we must raise within the intelligence structure.
I'm talking about you, General, as a Deputy National Commissioner. So it does not concern you that an information that is supposed to be in the custody of intelligence services is lingering around community members. It does not confirm. Is that your evidence that you are not concerned when intelligence information is lingering around community members?
Of course, I am concerned if ever a member of the public will have information, in particular documents that belong to intelligence. It is a cause for concern. But if it is information that relates to the security that affects me, or you just giving me information as a whistleblower, it happens on a daily basis from many angles of the country where you get such information. People on the ground do come across information, and people do report right up to the highest office. They report, they bring information.
Okay, Chair, I think let's just note that the first General Sibiya was not concerned, and on the second, General Sibiya was concerned. What did you do with that information?
It's information that says watch over your back. And then what I did is, sometimes I approach the National Commissioner. Sometimes I did speak to General Kumar and say, I understand there is one of the senior managers who's going around here and saying, when I'm going to arrest your boss, or we intend to arrest so and so and so and so. And at some point, it's even journalists where they want a journalist to run a story that says General Sibiya's arrest is imminent, and they want a journalist to run that story. And then I have a lot of AI generated TikTok messages about me. So you find that when you Google me or when you go into TikTok, you find that there is thousands of negative messages, or they will take my message and turn it replicates into many messages.
The question, General, was that what did you do about that?
What did I do about the information? I use it to my advantage to make sure that I survive.
Okay. Are you in constant contact with Mr. Brown Hotz?
Not on a daily basis,
But you are communicating?
I am communicating.
About issues relating to the police service?
No, not about issues related to the
issues in general.
In general.
Okay. No, that's fine. Let's take back what Honorable Sokanyile was asking you. Mr. Matlala finds difficulties in operating in terms of the work that he was given. Comes to your office for the first time.
Yes.
Then you say beyond that was the account that you have told us is that he came to ask about his tender issue where he found difficulties. You were acting national commissioner there. But you continue to say you have met him for about 5 times or less.
Yeah.
And you moreover say all this fracas happens when you are about to know him more, or when you are about to know each other more. Is it a general practice in the police service that the top brass of the service has got direct contact and direct relationship with service providers? And how many service providers do have the same relationship that you have with Mr. Matlala in the SAPS?
What I know is that Mr. Matlala is a well-known person in the service, in the police. As you can see at some point right from the minister downward.
Let's talk about you, General.
No, I'm just saying, you ask, the honorable member asked a question whether is there a general practice in the police. Now, I'm saying it is a general practice in the police because it's a service provider, it's a stakeholder. Whether you're talking about Old Mutual, you're talking Metropolitan, you're talking about many other, they, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, they find themselves in the same space. They are known to each other. That is why they gave him a tender to operate in the college where the National Commissioner is. And there was no problem that the National Commissioner saw himself on Mr. Matlala there. There was no issue because at that point in time, nobody knew about Mr. Matlala's involvement in any crime. Because if they knew, and I'm the only one who's actually working with him, it would have been understood or understandable. But in this case, I also take it that even the National Commissioner or any other person there didn't know.
Do you know where Mr. Matlala resides?
No,
You have never been in his
No.
homestead.
no.
Okay, that's on the point. Let's go back to the entire fracas about the dissolution of the PKTT and stuff. Do you think that political killings are still prevalent in the political system in South Africa?
Do I?
Do you think that in the political system of South Africa, we are daily still experiencing political killings
Yes, but at a much lower rate
than it was before?
than it was
Do you think that was the impact of the PKTT?
at that point in time, yes.
No,
At this,
I'm saying general. Do you think that political killings are still prevalent in our political system? You say yes,
Yeah.
but in a much lower rate.
Yes.
Do you think that that much lower rate is as a result of the work that was done by the political killings testing?
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
Do you think that it is quite warranted that such a working political killing task team be dissolved? What is your view as a deputy national commissioner now, analyzing the situation, seeing this team that you agree here under oath that is working hard? Do you think it was a proper decision to proceed with this dissolution given what you have just told us?
Personally, and looking at what the South African Police Services embarked on themselves, they embarked on a journey to dissolve the task teams and to make sure that they establish specialized units that will take care of, including, among others, political killings.
No. General, we are talking about one letter here. I hear you are bringing an overall approach over testings. Here, what brings us here today is the letter of the 31st of December 2024. And that letter only speaks about the political killings testing. So, you are saying, in your view, political killings are still prevalent, and the political killings task team has done a tremendous job in reducing political killings in South Africa. Now, the question still is, do you think then, therefore, that it's a proper, well-calculated decision, given these circumstances, to dissolve it?
Honorable Chair, I'm saying still, they said to the House Portfolio Committee Chairperson that they have achieved the purpose for which they were established. They have stabilized all the districts except only eThekwini district. Now, we can't keep them only to attend to only one district now. I said yesterday, go to El Dorado Park, go to Westbury, go to Hanover Park, Manninberg, all those dangerous areas, Cape Flats, where people are dying every day. Let us refocus the energy and the resources and the budget to where they are needed. And we don't say political killing testing must die. We're saying we have now come up with a work study that says they must fall under murder and robbery unit so that the whole country can have a benefit of the expertise, to have expertise throughout the country to be able to fight this type of cases. Any murder, taxi violence murder, serial murder, police killings, if it falls under murder and robbery unit, that has got a pool of excellence within it. They will be able to operate throughout the country, but you don't need to have a small group of people based in KZN to take over the whole country.
Okay.
Yeah, just to hold it there. General, when you say that we are saying that the resources that we have deployed to the PKTT must fall under, you say, murder and robbery unit. Is that what is contained in the letter that was written by the minister dissolving the PKTT?
Yes. And also when you look at the work study they did, it says that they must fall under murder and robbery unit. And it is also what they presented in parliament, that it must fall within the murder and robbery unit. So in general, there's no disagreement that they belong. This is serious and violent crime that falls under component serious and violent crime. This is where they belong. So we should put structures, permanent structures, and even the CFO commented and say post-elections they must be deactivated. When you look at the elections that passed, there was zero incident. In many times, it is just because of how you deploy. But let us have, throughout the country, structures that are well established to be able to fight that.
Chair, I think let's pass, because what would have been said on the 5th of March in the portfolio committee meeting is actually an aftermath of, was the letter predates that meeting. The letter is 31st December 2024. The meeting is 5 March 2025. Now, in this resolution, you proceed with a plan and you sign the plan. General Masemola says, what keeps the status of the political killing system intact is the fact that the minister did not sign his winding down plan. You say in your statement, you have signed the plan. How many plans did you have to dissolve the
How many pens?
plans?
Oh,
Plan.
There was one plan that says, as per the directive that I received from the Office of the National Commissioner, is to disband and to deactivate, to communicate the deactivation to the team. That's the communication that I received from the National Commissioner.
Okay.
And both the email and a document now that is well structured coming from the Office of the National Commissioner that gives out or lays out the whole plan coming from the National Commissioner's office, confirmed by him in July, in the March in Parliament, and the next day on the 6th of March in a form of an action plan. So all I'm saying is that there's never been any objection in front of the minister, at least.
Okay.
And in my case, I was never written anything in writing. If the National Commissioner was of the view or of the opinion that it looked like I am not listening or I don't cooperate, the National Commissioner would have officially written to me and say, this thing I'm still attending to it with the minister, and I would like to urge you to, at this point in time, hold back your horses because until further notice, but I am engaging the minister. You wouldn't have seen even a single letter from me.
Okay. Was there a meeting between yourself, General Kumalo, General Masemola, General Mkhwanazi, the Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde, and the Minister discussing a winding down plan of the political killing system?
Unless in Parliament, but I've never sat in a meeting when the political killing task team was being discussed and General Mkhwanazi was involved. But there has been meetings where there is General Masemola, Nkabinde, Kumalo.
We have evidence in our disposal that there was such a meeting where you had the other tree supporting the plan and the other tree does not. It is not supporting the plan. But let's leave it like that. So in your winding down, let's leave the Masemola winding down. Chair, it looks like we've got two winding down plans here. The one of General Sibiya and the one of General Masemola. Let's go to yours. Political killing system does not only comprise of SAPS members. Comprise DPCI, comprise NPA, comprise crime intelligence. In your plan, was there a consultation process to those that are part of the political killing system?
Let's start here. There are no two national commissioners. There's only one.
No.
I'm responding, Chair.
No. Never did I say there are two national commissioners. I'm saying evidence in the disposal of the ad hoc committee now is that a statement by the national commissioner says, I developed a winding down plan of the political killings test team. And the reason why the political killings test team is still intact now is because the minister did not sign my plan. You depose your own statement immediately after General Masemula. You say you have signed the plan, the process plan to dissolve the political killing system. That's the point. So I'm submitting to the chair that we've got two plans, the one submitted by the National Commissioner and the other submitted by his deputy.
I'm still responding, Chair, that there are no two plans. There's one plan, and that plan is that of the National Commissioner. Then you don't have a Sibiya plan, you don't have a National Commissioner's plan. The plan that is supposedly supposed to be that of General Sibiya is the one that comes from the National Commissioner's office through his office managers, the one that we are relying on, and it takes care of all the issues raised, the stakeholder engagement and many other things. And I can read the topic. I just want to get to.
No, it's fine. You can leave it. I got the answer. You got the answer. Oh, you're done.
So there are no two plans. Okay. One plan.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's take it from them.
Honorable member, let's do like this. General Sibiya, did you want to refer the member to some information in your notes?
Yes, Chair.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted.
Let's allow him to take you through.
I'm looking for that document with a signature in the body of the. The letter of deactivation that come, oh, here is it. Maybe for the benefit of the public out there and the House at large, Chair, I'm requesting to read this letter in its entirety, because I want the record to be kept so that anybody who listens, they must see at what length did we go to try to take care that this document or the transition, it covers everything. Now, it reads that, can I proceed, Chair? This letter is, and it is written to the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence. That is now after I received from the National Commissioner that says, please communicate to the team. And I forwarded to the Divisional Commissioner. Now, the National Commissioner says, I spoke to General Rabi to assist him. Now, General Rabi writes a letter that on my behalf, and this is how the letter reads. And you will also, we can read that one that was compiled by General Kumalo on instruction of the National Commissioner, and the House can decide which one, in fact, make more sense and more effective. But it says deactivating and disbandment of the National Task Team on Political Killings. The South African Police Service established the National Task Team on Political Killings, NTKPP, to address the concerning rise in politically motivated murders and related crimes involving political figures. This specialized task team was dedicated to investigating, resolving, preventing such incidents to ensure justice and maintain political stability in affected areas. On the 31st of December 2024, the Minister of Police issued a directive to the National Commissioner to immediately deactivate and disband the NTKPP. This decision was informed by an assessment that the task team no longer significantly contributed to policing efforts. The directive requires immediate compliance with appropriate measures to be undertaken to ensure the effective disbandment of the NTKPP in accordance with current prescripts in this regard. These measures must ensure that ongoing investigations are not disrupted or compromised. Now, That was our top priority, both myself and the National Commissioner, that investigations are not compromised. Monitoring and oversight. A temporary transition team must be established to oversee the disbandment process and address any arising challenges. This team must regularly report progress on the status of the disbandment to the Divisional Commissioner for Detective Service and facilitate communication between NTKPP, the Division Detective and Forensic Service, and other business units. A final audit must be conducted to ensure all cases and resources have been appropriately managed during a transition and appended to the closing report. Accountability. Effective immediately, all investigative personnel of the NTKPP PK responsible for case dockets are directly accountable to the Divisional Commissioner for Detectives and Forensic Service until they are assigned or reassigned to alternative units. This personnel will remain responsible for all investigations and resources allocated to them until a formal handover is completed in accordance with the established protocol. Now, this must indicate already that this was not saying immediate now. The same arrangement applies to crime intelligence and other personnel who will be accountable to the relevant divisional and provincial commissioners until final arrangements are communicated. Now, case handing over. Comprehensive handover protocol for all ongoing investigation must be established and implemented in consultation with the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service. This protocol should include complete case files, evidence, and related documentation. Additionally, detailed records of all handover investigations must be maintained and appended to the final report. Assignment of cases. And as you can see, it's talking about the final report, which means the report is still coming at some point, but we are not yet there. Assignment of cases. All case dockets must be hand-delivered to a location designated by the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service, who must establish a secure repository for case files and evidence to ensure continuity and prevent any loss or tampering. This docket will then be reallocated to appropriate investigation unit within the capacity to continue the investigation. The point that I want to raise in this paragraph, it says, they must be delivered to a location designated by the Divisional Commissioner for Forensics, not to my office. The second point that I want to indicate here is that the docket will then be reallocated to appropriate investigative unit with the capacity to continue, as they indicated even in Parliament that they will take them to murder and robbery unit, and this is what is supported by the work study investigation that has been approved by the National Commissioner himself on the 6th of June 2025. Personnel redeployment. The PKTT members must be reassigned to other units within SAPS in consultation with the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service and other relevant divisional and provincial commissioners. Detailed record of deployment personnel must be maintained and apprehended to final report. To me, the SAPS was going to benefit from these members because wherever they go, they will re-establish the same time of approach, but the country will benefit. Equipment and vehicles redistribution. All equipment vehicles allocated to the NTKPP must be redistributed to other units within the South African Police Service in consultation with the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service and other relevant divisional and provincial commissioners. Detailed record of the redistribution resources must be maintained and appended to the final report. You can imagine how many vehicles were bought, millions of rands were bought for this PKTT, but if those cars, those resources were to be redistributed to fight the crime, be it in KZN is still fine, or to the murder and robbery unit, so that the same work can continue. Stakeholder communications. All internal and external stakeholders must be notified in writing about disbandment of the NTKPT, the transition plan for ongoing cases, and the future protocol. Now, here we are saying we must remember that Janam Kwanazi suggested that the NPA were not informed, but here...
General, But I thought that when you made reference to that piece of evidence, you will say to the member, there is this memorandum that was in circulation in the police services, is dated 2025, March or April. And the key areas that I want to bring to the attention of the member are the following. That is why I made that intervention, so that you must not leave here saying, I wanted to bring the following information to the attention of the members, but it's like they were not interested. Because you can imagine if you read that letter from beginning to end, I don't know. What are the areas of emphasis?
It's only 2 pages that is left, and they are not many, they are just short sentences. But what is important is also for the public to know that every step was taken to make sure that these doctors are not going to suffer, and there's a clear plan on the table on how to deal with this, because the political killing task team, it cannot live forever. It should not be a permanent structure. It's a task team.
And that helps to answer the question of the member. Remember, the question is that you must demonstrate that there were no two plans.
Yes.
Between the police commissioner and yourself.
Actually, Chair, we passed that. We're on the part where I'm asking if DPCI, NPA, and crime intelligence were consulted. I think the party is reading that all stakeholders must be notified through writing. I think we can take it from there now.
Okay, so I must stop.
No.
Can I finish?
He wants to hear the part of the stakeholders.
We read past it. That says they must be informed, and then, now this one is a plan that says inform them. This letter was intended to go to the project leader to say the stakeholder, internal and external, must be notified. In other words, the person who had to do it, if it was me, it was going to be like I was forcefully disbanding. But mine was to communicate to the team that had to do it, and giving them a roadmap and say, these are the key issues that you must work on.
This letter is signed by you.
It's signed by me. This is the letter that the National Commissioner said you can sign because it's operational. And then it came via a general in the National Commissioner's office to me and said, no, the NASCOM says you can sign this operational sign. Because I have got an email that comes from the National Commissioner.
But maybe before you proceed with him, because the National Commissioner, when he was here, he says, not once, but on several occasions, I told General Sibiya that he must stay out of this process, and I will handle it. And I see the letter that you are reading, because I still have another letter here written by yourself, dated April 2022, 22 April 2025. And this is the period that in his testimony, he has said to us that he have warned you in April that you must stay away from the PKTT. But then, maybe before you go back to Honorable Nola, if you can just take us through that to say, the letters that the reason why I'm asking you who signed the letter, and you say it's you, and I have this other one as well of 22. It has the same topic of, the same subject of deactivation and disbandment of the PKTT, and it's signed by yourselves. How do you continue to to sign these letters when the National Commissioner says, I have spoken to General Sibiya and instructed him to get out of the PKTT because from the onset he was never involved. And I also listen to you when you speak here. When they appear before the portfolio committee, you say they, and my understanding is that when you say they, you are not there yourself.
When I say they, Chair, remember at this point in time, we've got General Kumar and General Masemola,
Yeah.
who were presenting. I was part of the whole presentation because as far as I'm concerned, we are all part of one team.
You were there in that meeting.
I was in that meeting.
Yeah, but when you say it here, you don't say we, you say they.
Because I'm sitting with both General Masemola and Kumalo accusing me of disbanding. But they were the one doing present.
I mean, in the meeting of the portfolio committee.
I was there. And then the presentation we owe.
Okay, no, it's fine. Let's leave it there. The chair of the portfolio committee is here for sure. These are matters that he will take interest when you can you just go back to your communication, your correspondences, and clarify within the context of what Honorable Ngola is asking to say, it appears like there are two parallel processes here, because the commissioner says, I talked General Sibiya out of this process and even reprimanded him. So what he told us, and for sure, this may be some of the reasons leading to your suspension, because it's what he said, that I talked him out of this process. But then it appears like you sign letters, you communicate. And he wants to know, because he says, no, listen, the minister has never signed my winding plan. And here is my deputies, my colleague, I say, look, wait here, I will handle this. And then you are reading a letter. What is the date of the letter you are reading?
I think it's 17 January.
Yeah, and this one is 22nd April. Help the honorable member to understand. Thank you.
I'm asking, Chair, to just before I get to the honorable member, just to mention two issues. The first issue being, starting from January, when this matter arose, working with the National Commissioner, working smoothly with the National Commissioner, on the 4th of April, the National Commissioner assessing me and in all respect saying competent in everything, then his only concern that he wrote, this is the only concern that he wrote in his performance. Now it says the forensic science part of the division, detective and forensic must be paid close attention and their performance to improve. Now, because this is the time where the National Commissioner was supposed to say to me, Chief, you don't listen, you don't do this, and when I say this, you do this, and I want this to improve or this. So I'm bringing this point home that says, no, the bottom line is he assesses me positively because there's no issue.
Yeah, the assessment, we recorded it, the competence and the performance index, how it has improved. You said it in a chapter and verse yesterday. I have everything on record. Go to Honorable Ngola and help him to understand the context.
Honorable Ngola, please take me back to my trailing thought.
Yeah, because you went all over and spoke about assessments and dockets. We have not arrived there. We're going there.
I have to survive.
We passed the issue of the two plans, Chair. It is the evidence of the general that, no, they are not two according to his knowledge. It's fine. Let's take it from there. Let's just record it as he says it. So the letter that he reads speaks about informing stakeholders internally and externally. Because, Chair, when a possibility arises for NPA, DPCI, and crime intelligence to come to this committee, we'll ask them if they know about any plan or any process to disband the political killings system. So I'm asking again to you, General. Have you been able to inform those stakeholders of the directive and the plan thereof in respect of the dissolution of the political killings system? I'm asking you as a person who says you received a directive from the Office of the National Commissioner to manage this process. We are doing this, General, so they don't come here and say, no, we don't know anything about that. So it must be on record that you have informed them that the political killing system has reached its sell-by date.
Chair, that was not my responsibility to do that, to inform the stakeholders. The stakeholders had to be informed by the project manager of the political killing system. The instruction came that says, communicate this to the relevant team. I did that. Theirs was to start the process and to start running with the baton. Not me running letters all over, writing letters to every stakeholder, to that one and that one, going to see that one, going to meet that one. It was the responsibility of the task team, project leader, to do it.
General, you speak like someone who's operating in a peripheral environment. You are given a responsibility to head an institution as big as SAPS. Beyond that, you are given a responsibility to oversee and preside over a process of dissolving the political systems, didn't you? Was that responsibility not given to you?
That's correct.
Is it not your responsibility to ensure that your subordinates or your juniors do the obligations that they've been given to expedite the process?
That is why I was writing those.
But you can't say you can't go around with letters. The point here is you are a boss that's presiding over a process.
Yes.
Now, whoever you have given that obligation of writing a letter is not important for these purposes. The question is, were the stakeholders informed of the process you presided over?
The stakeholders had to be informed by the project manager, not by myself.
Chair, can I repeat the question? I am not asking who bears the responsibility of informing the stakeholders. Imagine today, the chair gives us, all of us as members, responsibilities one by one. And when the chair is asked outside by the media that, how are you handling this and that? And he says, no, I gave that to Ngola, it's not on me. The point, General, here is that you are presiding over the process now. You give responsibilities to the project manager. So it's upon your obligation to ensure that who you gave a responsibility actually does the responsibility given. Unless you are saying you are not aware whether those stakeholders were informed or not.
Chair, all I know is that the direct instruction from the Office of the National Commissioner says, communicate to the relevant team and to prepare a close-up report. Then come a letter of the 17th that gives a roadmap that says this is what must happen. Inform the internal and stakeholders. This comes from me telling the project manager, inform the internal and external. That's the part that I could play and how far I could go. And
so
that's
you're not aware whether that one you gave a responsibility to inform stakeholders did that responsibility?
I'm not aware.
Okay, let's pass that part. So in your view, what is the status of the political killing system?
It's just like General Mkonazi said, it's running, it's up and running.
So it's not dissolved.
It never was.
Okay. The plan was signed.
The plan was signed.
But why was it not dissolved then?
Because General Mkonazi says he was not informed, therefore the team is running.
So, according to General Mkonazi, is acting against the instructions of the top brass of the service.
Which happened.
Okay. Let's go to dockets. You say you are the custodian of all the dockets in South Africa.
Correct.
But you say there are dockets that you can be unable to account for. How does that happen?
Not that I can be unhappy to account for. That falls under me, but I'm not accounting. I'm expected to account for them, but they are not in my possession.
Okay. Where do you derive these powers of custodianship of dockets?
Can we go to the same letter that gives the powers that was approved by the National Commissioner? That says I just want the page, Chair, that says the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection is the custodian of all dockets in the country. In the bundle. Chair, I want to just, legal team, do you know? Evidence leader?
Yes, the witness is.
I want to be able to get to that page that assists me, where it says the Deputy National Commissioner is the one that was even approved by the National Commissioner, because I account for the performance of the detectives even before the Auditor General. And as a result, when you talk about the docket, when you register a case docket, it is for investigation. Once it is for investigation, it falls within my space. Now the docket leading to up until prosecution is my docket as the detective. The uniform in the police station will open a case docket, and then the next person who comes to sign for the docket is a detective. Now the detective is their docket. Yes, it belongs to a station for that station, because when you ask, for an example, you say you open a case in Witbank, it will be Witbank case so-and-so, Midrand case so-and-so, Devon Central case so-and-so. But the dockets belong to those stations, but I am responsible for all the dockets because I account to the Auditor General for all the dockets. I'm saying this now in the absence of the documents I have here. I will come across it now. But all the investigations or investigative processes belong under crime detection, which I'm responsible for. Now, which means that is why I was saying to the National Commissioner, I have dockets that are in uniform, that are at ORS, and the National Commissioner said, no, those detectives must fall under you. I have dockets that are at ID or Hawks. Those dockets, I must account for those dockets. So I'm the custodian of all the dockets.
Okay. I was asking.
Sorry, Chair, I was just trying to.
Let's allow the member to conclude. You will come later.
Not on the docket.
I was asking, where is the power derived from? Is it derived from the employment contract? Is it derived from the policy? Is it derived from legislation? Where is this power of custodianship of all dockets? Is
from the employment contract and from the legislative framework of the detectives.
Okay. Where are the 21 dockets, 121 dockets?
Where are they?
now, yes.
They are
I'm asking from the custodian now.
They are I take it that they will be with the political killing task team project manager.
Why were they taken?
They were brought by them to be taken to where they needed to be taken to, which is the specialized unit, murder and robbery unit, which is mandated to investigate political killing task team. That what they are investigating as a task team, in fact, belongs to murder and robbery unit. They are just a separate structure that is running outside the structure.
Okay, General, you have just confirmed with us now that the political killings task team is up and running. If that's the case, why were 121 dockets taken from the political killings task team that is up and running?
Chair, a decision was taken to disband immediately. And the political killing task team project manager did say that this political killing task team have achieved the purpose for which it was intended for, to stabilize and to fight the killings of the politicians and your traditional leaders and others. Now, when you look at the map, I wish we could display the map. If it's doable, Chair, that what was presented in to be able to see how they've stabilized. I don't know, Chair, evidence leader, that is it possible to put that document that shows how they have stabilized, all of them green, and then that in fact it shows 1-1, and they said only eThekwini district is the one that is problematic, but the rest there are no political killing task team anymore. So as a result, it can be used as a benchmark, and that it will be now done in a phase out approach. It will be taken to murder and robbery unit. This is now General Kumalo saying it will be taken to murder and robbery unit.
Okay, let's leave General Kumalo. Let's leave what General Kumalo says. The letter, was what General Kumalo would have said it was actually later than the 31st of December 2024. The letter says, the service of the political killings task team is no longer required because it's no longer adding any value. And you have attested here in front of us that, in your view, the political killings task team has actually been able to down spiral the rate at which political killings happened in South Africa. Now, let's pass this stage, General. Let's go to the letter. I think, Chair, I'm going to this letter. It's on page 20 of the index Coban, page 20. I wasn't happy with how the General responded yesterday, and I thought it's fine. Let me not stress. Let me come back to it today. Here, there is an issue about confiscation of Vusum Ziket Matlala phone and a cracking of WhatsApp conversations of Vusum Ziket Matlala. It is established there that there is a constant communication between Mr. Matlala and Mr. Mohots. It's not between you and them. Two, in this communication, Mr. Mohots, the one you had breakfast with, alleges that he has, the message reads like this. I have arranged a meeting for Sibiya and the minister. They must have a solution. And it goes down and say the task team that came to your house and harassed you have been dissolved. So this is the chronological order of the messages between the two. But in that there is confirmation of a person you considered in this meeting that you have had a breakfast with. He says, the person, your breakfast person says, I have arranged a meeting for Sibiya and the minister. He goes back down and talk about the dissolution of the PKTT. So this is my question. Has Mr. Matlala and Mr. Mohotsi influenced the dissolution of the PKTT, as it has been alleged by both the two witnesses that appeared before us? 2, do you have a direct relationship with Mr. Mohotsi and Mr. Matlala? 3, was there a meeting arranged between yourself, the minister, Mr. Mohotsi, Mr. Matlala, on the dissolution of the PKTT?
This must be your last 3 questions.
Yeah, but 20 minutes, I'm 30, let's fine.
No. I want you to do this. Do not bombard the witness with questions. Take them one by one.
Okay, that's fine.
As you conclude.
That's fine. Okay, let's take one first, emanating from this that is written here. Can remind you that it's a communication between the two people, and we're not saying we are responsible for that communication. We're saying there is your name dropped there, that I have arranged a meeting with Sibiya and the minister. So has there been a meeting arranged between you, the minister, Mr. Matlala, and Mr. Mohotsi to discuss the...
Never.
Okay.
There was never such a meeting.
Okay. When did you have breakfast again with Mr. Mohotsi?
I think it was on the 8th of January
2025.
Yeah, I may be wrong. He came for the 8th of January meeting. And I take it that it was in the morning. But normally, because of we are working as the South African police, we would wake up early and be on the ground. So I don't know whether it could be before or that, but it did come, I confirm, we met.
When did SAPS raid Mr. Matlala's homestead and confiscate his phone?
They say it's on the 6th of December. That's what I read in the statement.
Of December?
Yeah.
Last year?
It was on the 6th of December because in one of the statements that I read, it says it was the raid of the 6th of December that led to the beginning of the disbandment of the
test. When did Mr. Matlala get arrested? In your knowledge?
Far deep in May.
This year?
This year.
So the breakfast dates the arrest. And these messages to us. These messages are taken on the basis of the arrest and confiscation. So fine, let's leave it general. Let's just leave it there. So General Mkhwanazi alleges that they have scanned, they have audited the dockets to check if they are in the same shape as they were when they were taken. We say I think they found about 5 with some minor deficiencies, with some missing pages and all that. Are you aware of that?
I heard him, but I don't agree with that.
Okay. Let's go to Forte. We have got 4 members of the PKTT whom you allege that they have taken money at some point in the Eastern Cape. of course, we established that they are not 6 or 10, they are 4. And one amongst them did not take money in terms of your statement, page 167, 176 and 177. One of them just got himself some polo neck and a coat, new polo neck and a coat. Now, I want to take us through what is your reading of that. Do you read it as a pure act of bribery and money laundering between police and an accused person? Or do you read it as a covert operation of the police to lay in a suspected individual so that they can be able to arrest him?
It's not how a covert operation works. And it's not even how an undercover operation works to law. It's not how it works completely. It's pure act of criminality.
Okay. General Mkhwanazi made assertions here saying sometimes covert operations, Chair.
On a point of, not a point of order, just the sound. Please, General, if you could direct General to speak into the mic. Thanks.
Okay.
On a point of sound. Thank you.
Clarity.
Now, General Mkhwanazi came and under oath made statements here that sometimes a covert operation would be them buying a Lamborghini just to infiltrate a Lamborghini club that is suspecting to be involved in criminal activities. Is that correct?
It's wrong.
It's wrong, completely wrong.
It's not an investigator, it's wrong.
Okay. Now, Chair, let's take matters to the issue of, I think a lot of issues I've covered. I'm left with just the issue of when you wrote communication.
I want you to know that you are asking the last question.
Yes, it is the last question.
Yeah.
General Khumalo is due to come and testify. But following his testimony, what was cut down in the Judicial Commission, it seems to be a very different story with what you are using, but it's fine, we'll take it when he comes here. But I want you to confirm before us what we have been communicating with him on the dissolution, because he's a project leader. Now, what has been his responses to the numerous communiques you have been sharing with him in respect of this matter? Thank you.
Basically, he ignored my emails, because remember the National Commissioner said he told him to ignore me. And as a result, which means whatever that was happening going forward, it was happening because the National Commissioner said, this is how you will do it. Now, even when the dockets were brought over to head office or wherever, starting from when the National Commissioner said, ignore that one, whatever that happens now going forward is the National Commissioner instruction. So coming off the docket, General Khumalo would never have brought the dockets to head office or wherever, because he already got instruction from the National Commissioner himself that says ignore that one. So anything and everything that flows therefrom, National Commission.
Thank you, General. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Sokanyile. Thank you so much, Honorable Ngola.